Next item in the agenda is a keynote speech, which will be conducted by, I would like to call him as the beacon or the guiding light of our club, Harshan Senadir. Harshan's life motto is, "It's my life and it's my way." And his hobbies and interests are driving, and driving. Harshan, the floor is yours.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I think Leland did a lot of work for me, motivated and kept this audience alive. So it made my job easy. Let me ask you a simple question again. This is not raise of hands. Is there anyone here in this audience whose grandfather was a software engineer? Anyone? Oh, let me ask, are there any grandfathers in this audience? Obviously. I think maybe in another 2-3 generations, people will say my grandfather was a software engineer or maybe software architect, but not now, at least not even in this generation. And my grandfather was he was actually looking after an estate, call it whoever, that he actually administrated that particular estate and that kind of a job he did. And if you try to recall the professions of your grandfathers, shall we give it a try? Do you know the professions of your grandfathers or grandparents? Anyone? Can I have one answer? How about you? Office clerk. Very good. Firefighter. Awesome. Any different professions? How about your grandfather? Electrician. All right. Electrician. Very good. Now, if we ask the same question another probably 10 years down the line, maybe 20 years down the line, the responses which we receive will be completely different. Business analyst, can you make few guesses like that? Project manager, accountant, again, I think it lasted for about a few decades, so that's no question, it will last for a long as well. So there will be probably, I don't know, accounts analyst maybe, which we didn't have about 20, 30 years ago. A lot of different professions. What's the difference? What is the difference in the society right now when we talk about the careers back then, as opposed to back then, about 20, 30 years ago? What's the difference? There's this one element I'm looking for. There's a particular one element, and most of us in this forum, in this audience, are dealing with, and these professions are largely associated with. Actually, we are into that technology. Okay, I'll do a. I gave a slight hint. Have you ever heard the term knowledge worker? Anyone? I think it was a term coined by Peter Drucker, if I'm not mistaken. It's called knowledge worker. Who's a knowledge worker? Who's a knowledge worker? Come on, don't be afraid to give answers. Yes, son.
A worker who controls through his brain rather than
Dealing with knowledge. Dealing with knowledge. Someone who deals with knowledge. Now, again, my previous example, the society, the careers about 30 years ago were mainly manpower oriented. It's actually hard work, labor force, whatever you call it. It's not about largely with knowledge. But then again, now it has actually skewed towards knowledge, and we have a lot of knowledge workers. Actually, as per the definition, they call it those who are dealing with information. And after all, we're doing what? What is IT? Information technology. Information communication technology, you say. And all of us are knowledge workers. And let me ask this question from you. You have gathered qualifications in the university. And you might continue to gather qualifications, be it CIMA or whatever the additional programs you do. The question I'm asking is that enough? The knowledge itself, gathering knowledge, having a lot of knowledge, possessing a lot of knowledge in your brain, is that enough? Do you think it's enough? Okay, I have, what is your GPA? Wow. Let's give him a round of applause. 3.9. So I'm having 3.9 GPA, that's it. I have first class and I'm the best, and I don't need anything else. I I know that, I have that knowledge, I can whack codes, I can do whatever my boss asks me to do, and that's enough. Is that the case? No. Very good. Then what else you need?
We should be able to apply what we have learned.
Of course, applying, oh yes, fine. What else you need? Applying the knowledge and then... That's okay, that's fine. That is where I'm getting at. That is where I'm getting into. That's the element I was looking for. Communication. Without communication, the knowledge worker cannot success or cannot survive, I would say. Anyone who disagrees this term, you can survive, you can work, you can just back codes without having communication skills. Anyone who disagrees? Anyone has a different viewpoint? Anyone? Oh, I have proven my point. So let's get on. Right. Now, communication is expected. Why? Because I'll tell you simply. Now, you might have the 3.9 guy or whoever in this audience, you might have a fantastic knowledge about something. But if you cannot communicate it, then let's get into definitions a little. What is communication? The definition, I need the definition. If there's anyone, again Prasanna, right. What is it?
Putting across an idea to get the desired response.
Very comprehensive response. In a nutshell, it's actually the process of exchanging information. It's the simple definition, but you gave a very comprehensive one. That is, communication is you are exchanging or imparting information. As Prasanna said, you say something and the objective is the other person has to understand. Now I'm doing this session, I'm saying a lot of things, and if you don't understand, then I as a communicator will be a failure. So the communication is imparting with information or maybe exchanging information. Right. The expectations from you in the corporate world. What were you thinking during your university life? What do you think the corporates expecting from you, as far as you understood?
We just make use of the knowledge that we gain from university,
Right.
and we just contribute to their business process by
Okay.
just recording or whatever they expect of us.
Okay. That's it? All right, very good. I think I have room here. I have room to put across my point. What about you? You are reciting. What do you think? What do you think the corporates are expecting from you as a fresh graduate or a fresh employee in this organization? Very good. Engaging. Yes. Yes. What else? Mhm. Very good. Are there any additions to these responses given? What do you think? Same. Okay. Actually, nowadays, the corporates are looking for, true, you might be very good at software engineering or maybe writing piece of code, but then he said, engaging. Engaging means, without communication, can you engage? Without communication, you can't do anything, be it teamwork, be it, I don't know, client discussions, whatever it is, communication is really important. We need effective communicators. I'll explain why I said effective, not just communicators. And effective presenters, not boring presenters. The world is very competitive these days, my dear friends, and you need to make a change, as in you need to show that you're different to others. How do you make that differentiator? Maybe by excelling, because all of you are graduates, and if you look at your qualifications or your background, it could be similar. So how you go up into the ladder? How you can be shown to the upper management? With experience, I'm telling you, more than 17 years of experience, I'm telling you, it's actually by excelling your communication skills. Of course, your software development or software engineering, the base skill has to be there, that is understood. Without that, you can't, otherwise you'll be just a bluffer. But apart from the base, now the base is now laid, you have that, you have the degree, you have the qualification, the base is there. So how you go forward, how you build on top of that is what we're discussing here, right? And there's another element when you're doing teamwork and when you engage with the management maybe, you need to have interpersonal skills. So all these are communication. I'm actually giving an eye-opener to you. Probably you can go back and do your homework and try finding out how you can improve, probably improving the language or probably improving the way you speak. Probably give it a try to do some public speaking. That is where the Toastmasters program is. Those are open. You can come and you can do your speeches, you can try out even the round robin session you did. That itself is a practice. You don't know the word, the previous speaker might stop. You have to pick on that word and start speaking. Imagine you do it for maybe a few months. How the alertness, you will be able to speak spontaneously, off the cuff we say, right? So I'll give you a bit about how to do effective communication. Now, are there any questions before we move forward? Any disagreements to what I just said? Because it may be a bit controversial to what you believe in or what you have learned in the university life. Just if there are any confusions or any other ideas, just ask from me, clarify. Right. I said effective communication. Now, communication. Now, I'm doing a presentation, right? I'm speaking words, and you write an email. You store it to someone. In all this communication, there are certain components. The words. What I'm saying right now. The words. The effectiveness of the word in this whole communication process, as a percentage, any guess, I think you have just some might have seen it. As a percentage, if you see, okay, 100%, if you take that 100%, the whole effectiveness of communication, what is the percentage the words play? Any guesses? Sorry, your response is not not taken. Any other responses? 6% close. 10? Yeah, somewhat close. So you agree that it's a lesser percentage, isn't it? So one said 6 and some said 10. It's actually a lesser percentage. I think you have an idea where I'm getting at. It's only 7%. It's only 7%. So imagine the challenge you have when you're writing an email. Because you only have the element, the word, nothing else. So in order to take it to another level or in order to improve or increase the overall effectiveness, what can we do? What are the things we can do? Don't worry, I'll answer my question. They say, it's actually I couldn't put the reference, because I'll share I have a article with this. So it's actually 38%, the tone, the vocal variety, you call it tonality, plays 38% of the whole effectiveness of this communication process. Words only 7%. So if you are good at playing with your tone, vocal variety, you can add another 38% to this overall effectiveness of communication. And the rest comes from body language. Now can we all stand up? Alright, just have a little free space. You can free up because you are like sleepy and tensed up and alright. Do this with me. Spread your hands. Spread your hands. Alright, good. Are everyone following? Spread your hands. And put down one hand. Right? Put down one hand. And take one of your hand and do this with your fingers. And take the hand forward and touch your chin. Okay, sit down. How many of you guys, one guy just touched nose and then chin? How many of you really did touch the chin at first? Okay, there could be few. I'm not saying there can't be anyone, there could be few. But still, the majority just followed my body language. So that's powerful the body language is. More than what I say, that is what you see. Because of that, they say 55% is coming from body language. Now you know why. Understood? So when you are doing the presentation next time, don't just stand like this and Click those lines. Add some body language, natural body language, meaningful body language. I can get into details, but again, I only have 20 minutes in this session. So if you continue with the Toastmasters program, probably I can teach you specifically how you can use body language, how you can use vocal variety, because each of these areas you have to go a little further if you're really interested in excelling your public speaking skills. And there are certain things and certain tricks you can do and that you can learn in the future. Now, in the whole public speaking, there are a few things. Now, are there any friends who are in the same group at university in this audience? Okay, can I have both of you over here? Can you just repeat the last discussion both of you had between as long as you can be publicly right. Cool. Okay. Just both of you. The same question.
So Amita, we have to do this tonight. What are you doing? Why are you not answering
We're not saying anything. We didn't say anything.
It's actually this time he was actually responding.
Okay. Can you go on for about now 50 seconds more?
Let's say.
Watch that.
So I need you to format the document and send it to me tonight. Can you do it?
All right. Thank you guys. Give them a round of applause. Right. Now, what did you see in this communication, the one-on-one communication between the two? That girl, what's her name? Lochana. What did Lochana do? She was using her hands, right? And she said, give it to me tonight, right? What is that? What is that? Body language. Body language. Was it practiced? Was it artificial? No, it came natural. She just said, I want, send it to me tonight. Right? Just that simple thing I picked up. And then the tonality. She said, certain things, why didn't you answer one? And send it to me tonight. She stressed on that. That's a vocal variation we call it. And in my opinion, there is no big difference between one-on-one communication and public speaking. The only difference is you're talking to a large audience and you have the challenge of treating, now she was talking to only one person, but a public speaker who speaks to an audience has to treat each and every individual as if the person is talking to them. You feel like, okay, this guy is talking to me. You shouldn't be feeling that, okay, this guy is not talking to me and this guy is totally avoiding me kind of thing. That's the only challenge. Apart from that, the basics are the same. It's not, you do all that when you're doing one-on-one communication, just like I proved. You're doing all that. You're using your hands, you're using body language, vocal variety. And it's just that when you're here, you are a bit, what? What happens when you're here? Nervous, exactly. The moment nervousness hits you, those will become, those fades away. You become a little numb and you get yourself a bit, stressed. And then the natural body language and vocal variety wouldn't come up. I'll tell you a small story. Only 2 minutes ahead. My hometown was actually a village about 140 kilometers away from Colombo. We lived in I think it was a 4-acre land something. It was a bit of a big land. And there were a lot of coconut cultivation. There were coconut trees. And when these trees get older, you have to cut them down and plant new coconut trees. If there's anyone who's coming from that kind of background would know. And then this cutting down, the process of cutting down trees was actually a marvelous experience for myself and my brother. Because we never get a chance to go up to the top of a coconut tree. I mean, I can't climb up a coconut tree. But then again, when the tree is on the ground, I can go to the top of the coconut tree without risking myself. So we used to run on the trunk to the edge of the tree, from one edge to the other edge, the coconut tree. And we were like doing these runs without failing. We didn't worry at all, just ran on the coconut tree trunk and nothing has happened. We didn't fall, nothing has happened. So we could perfectly run. Probably now I wouldn't be able to do it, but back then we could do it. And one tree, there was this pond in one side of the land. There was a pond. Actually, it was not a pond, it was an abandoned well. We dug it up, but we couldn't find sufficient water, so we had to abandon it without building it. So that was there. Sometimes it collects rainwater, and it had converted to a natural pond kind of a thing. So one tree fell across on this pond, right? This particular tree, no difference, same size, same height. The trunk was of same circumference, and it actually fell across on this particular pond. Not myself, nor my brother, dared enough to run on that particular tree trunk. Was the coconut tree different? No. Was the, I don't know, the physicality or the circumstances of the tree trunk was the same. It's just that it fell across that pond. We had the fear we might fall into the pond. We never took the lead. We left that tree and we enjoyed all the other trees. Public speaking is just like that. But had we run across, I'm sure nothing would have happened to us. I'm sure. Because our grip was perfect back then. The feet was like rough than now, because now we are wearing slippers and shoes all the time. So grip is not that great. Back then it was great. So I'm sure had we took, we would have gone to the other end without fail. But we didn't. This is just like that. You got to try it. You need to try it without trying, by staying in the audience always. You cannot practice this. You have to deal with that nervousness. You need to learn the art of converting the nervousness into energy. Do you think I'm not nervous right now? Even if you ask that question from Robin Sharma, whoever the greatest speaker, if they say, I have personally spoke to Dhananjay Hettiarachchi, he's a good friend of mine, many times. He also keeps on saying, before going into any audience, he's nervous. If you ask that question from any speaker, they would say, before going in front of an audience, they're nervous. It's just that. They convert that nervousness into energy. And they have trained and learned the art of hiding that nervousness from the audience. That's true. You can't get rid of that nervousness. Trust me, you can't. That will be there forever with any speaker in any audience. But it's up to you whether you're going to show that nervousness to the audience or you're going to convert that into energy and go ahead with your presentation. Right? So, how long I have, Angelo? Right. Okay, I'll end up with this slide. Actually, there are a few myths with public speaking. I'll leave you with that thought. There are a few things. They say the better speakers are born. So you might say, okay, I'm not a born public speaker. No, it's not for me. Nothing like that. If you have seen me about maybe 4 years ago, before I started the journey of Toastmasters, I don't think I have spoken ever in front of an audience. Apart from the mandatory presentations in my degree program, not even during my school days. I was really shy, timid, and I never took that challenge. But then again, the Toastmasters program transformed me. Because of that, I can tell you with confidence that the speakers are not born, but made and trained. This program is for that. And there's another myth, because we always talk in English, and some might think that, okay, my English skills are not that great, so because of that, I'm going to be a good speaker. No, I shouldn't be trying it. But English is not our mother tongue. You can make mistakes. The grammarian is there to point out those mistakes. I don't use the word mistakes, we call areas for improvement. So the next time you'll be mindful when you're about to make that mistake. You can do any mistake within these 4 walls and learn and not to repeat that mistake outside. So the only skill required is language. It's a big no-no. You can try it out. You can learn, because with learning you can excel. And there's another myth now. This is actually, I think I've made this point already. You have to deal with vocal variety. Sometimes you have to lower your voice. You would have seen how Leland delivered the speech. It's not about screaming all the time. It's not about speaking loud all the time. But it's about varying your voice at times required. Sometimes you might have to really lower it. If you go really discuss something about emotions or maybe a sad scenario, probably can lower the voice and go soft. And then again, when you're stressing something, you can really speak louder and speak at a different rate. So there are little tricks in playing with your tonality. And the last thing is you need preparation. You need preparation. So come to this program, get yourselves prepared to deliver public speeches or do good presentations in front of audiences outside of this meeting room. And if there are any questions, I can probably take about 30 seconds or 1 minute. Are there any questions? Or even after the program, I'll be here, I'll be hanging around. Probably can ask questions. Alright, wish you all the very best with your careers and try to improve your communication skills. That's the key to your success. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Harshan, for that wonderful speech. We all learned a lot of things from his speech. We'll quickly go to the next session, which is the table topic session. Table topic session will be conducted by Sampath Ganage.